Now, I'm sure you've both been to a restaurant where you go in and you get your lovely breast of chicken and inside you've got a lovely sumptuous stuffing. But first off, how to make that stuffing, and secondly, how to get it inside the chicken and keep it all whole. Well, I'm going to show you the stuffing first. Could be any stuffing at all that you're using, but today I'm going to make a really delicious leek, parmesan and mushroom stuffing. Works especially well with that lovely flavour of the chicken. So first thing we want to do is sort of clean up our mushrooms. We're also going to clean up our leeks. Very important that you clean leeks very, very thoroughly. There can be, because they grow below the ground, a lot of sand and little sort of grit in between the different layers. So cut them in half lengthways, run them under cold running water, and be very, very thorough in the way you clean them. Next, you want to sort of cut them down the middle lengthways, and we're going to try and get it into a nice small dice here. We're going to saute that off in a minute, and what it'll do is it'll have that lovely sort of texture in the middle of the bird. So into our pan where that oil has been heating up on a sort of a low to medium temperature, go the leeks. We're going to very gently sort of saute those off so as you get that lovely sweet caramelization. The leeks have got a sort of mild oniony flavour, but we really want to sweeten them up, and that'll happen during the cooking process. Next up, our mushrooms. Never wash mushrooms, just sort of pad them off with a little damp cloth so as you remove any dirt, but they absorb a lot of moisture, so running them under water would be a disaster for this sort of dish because the stuffing would end up all sort of wet and insipid. Next in there with the leeks goes a little teaspoon of butter, and we're also going to add in the mushrooms. We're going to return it to heat over a sort of low to medium temperature still, and we're just going to saute that mixture off for about 4 or 5 minutes until it starts to get that lovely distinct flavour. So out it comes. You can see that it's taken on a little bit of colour. There's lovely, lovely flavour in there. Season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and now we're going to sort of shave in some parmesan. This is where the stuffing starts to really come together. The parmesan gives it a really distinct flavour. It also sort of melts in and helps to sort of bind the whole mixture. So that's now our stuffing ready to go inside the bird. Now what you can see is I've just cut a hole down the middle of the chicken and flattened it out. So we've sort of made like a scallopini. Now if you want to see a video on scallopini, there's also a video here on the site. And what we're going to do then is place that stuffing into the middle, and we're just going to sort of roll it up and use the little fillet that we've battered out to cover it up. So you can see the stuffing is completely encased in the middle. There's no way it's going to escape. All we do now is pan fry it on each side for about 30 seconds until it gets a lovely golden brown colour. So just pop it into the oven then, and you'll see it's lovely and caramelised on the outside. The stuffing's lovely and moist in the centre. It's an absolutely delicious chicken breast.